to episode 29 of Trade Talks Unlocking the Experience. I'm your host, Kayla McGowan, and today I have two special guests, Leon Walker-Metz and Joe Hoffman. These gentlemen have a unique role in our industry, specializing in providing wellness opportunities and beyond for industry professionals like yourself. So, to start with Leon, he's worked in this industry for 13 years. He's been a benefit counselor, and he's a father and husband and loves all aspects of self-care. Now, Joe, he's been in the industry for 12 years. He loves helping small businesses support their employees through his services, aiding in attracting and retaining talent. He's also a father and husband and loves our industry. Please welcome Joe and Leon.
Thank you, Kayla.
Thank you,
You are
Kayla.
so welcome. Thank you guys for joining me today on this lovely afternoon. So, before we jump into all the fun stuff, I wanted to ask you guys how you guys got into our industry specifically. And I think there's an interesting backstory here, so we can kind of talk about it, but I'll let you guys take it away.
Well, we can really say it kind of happened because of you. A few years ago, we're working with the IICRC, and we came to the IICRC with a proposition of bringing benefits to all the members. And you thought it'd be a great idea. And 2 years later, we're still in the industry. So I would have to say, because of you and your outside the box thinking, that we were able to get into this industry. And so now we are a benefits broker who specializes in the cleaning and restoration space.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah. Go
I
ahead,
would
Joe.
add, I'll add some thank you. There's some kudos to you. You're obviously the facilitator, Kayla. But Leah and I have been working together for 13 years in specifically small blue collar industries, and we love it. We feel like our value proposition really resonates there of employee level education. Um, we've done plenty of white collar work, and it's just not as fulfilling, I guess. That whole crowd can be a little too cool for school sometimes, and we pride ourselves on education. So, like, it just kind of lands a little bit better. But it's fun. Like, we really do feel like we bring value to small businesses, helping kind of shoulder the load of benefits for them in what we do day in, day out. So we just always enjoyed it. And then again, you kind of just facilitating into more of a specific industry for us. I'll say it again, it's been really, really fun. Like, we just enjoy working with growing industry, which this very much is. I mean, it's a rapidly expanding industry, so that's very exciting. Um, but yeah, that's it. And I mean, to answer the question too, we just saw an opportunity. There was a great opportunity here to help support a growing industry. Small business is kind of the spine, the backbone of the country. And, we love being a part of that.
Yeah,
Facts.
that's so true. I will definitely say it was so great to meet you guys and see where you guys were able to not only work with the IICRC, but the industry as a whole. I think it's really cool to see it come full circle. It was one thing that I was super excited about because I think, like you said, blue collar is a little different. And it's really hard to keep staff, and a lot of times it comes down to benefits and offerings. And I think you guys are offering something so key, and I'll be forever grateful for having the opportunity to meet you guys and kind of see where you guys take this. Um, so, with that being said, we know that in our industry, and honestly, every industry right now is truly struggling with workforce. So, can you guys kind of talk about and tell us about, how your services offer some key solutions to our industry specifically?
Yeah, we're seeing so we got clients all across the country here, and we're seeing that that's the number one thing that our clients are saying to us, that they're having issues attracting and retaining good technicians. And we know great technicians is how you grow your business. And so when you find the right people, you're investing in your company to grow your company. If you can't find those right people, you're always spinning your wheels. So providing a comprehensive employee benefit package is something that can have you have a more stickier job and grow your workforce tenfold. So very important to bring on benefits if you want to attract, retain, and grow good talent.
Yeah, and in my opinion, that's the only reason to offer benefits. If you're asking that yourself that question, why offer benefits when people have options? There's a federal exchange, right? There's a federal marketplace. Why take on some of that cost? Tell us that there really is only one reason. It's that attracting and retaining, recruiting and retention, doing right by the employees that you have, and then trying to bring in new talent. And we hear it every day. Leon and I love this part of our jobs where we get to talk to the small business owners every single day. And that's the recurring theme. People are like, we ask, why now? And they're like, well, we because we should have 6 months ago. And now we
Yeah.
found you guys. You know, like that's typically the answer we get day in, day out, but it's all for the same reason, attracting and retaining.
Yeah, and I would definitely say too, when we're looking at this, we kind of talked about this before we jumped on here, but sometimes it's we know it's a problem, but the solution may not be as easy as we think, and when really it could be. And so it kind of does put up, like you said, Joe, yeah, we should have done this 6 months ago, but now you guys are here to actually talk about this at the experience. And, can you guys kind of talk about what you'll cover at the experience? I think when you talk about benefits, some people may glaze over because they're like, oh my gosh, that's a whole dedication. There's like all of these layers. So can you guys kind of jump into that?
Yeah, so if we were talking about a number of things at the experience conference, so please come see us. One thing we want to do is bring some insight. So we again we specialize in the cleaning and restoration space, but from an outside lens. So we want to just bring in our what we're seeing from our lens, especially with like benchmarking. So understanding what your competitors are having, and so that you're again not losing those technicians to the competition. That's going to be a big part of what we're talking about. And then as well, just like our crawl, walk, run strategy of how you can crawl, walk, and run into a full benefit package.
Exactly. All I can do is echo that. Like that's really what we've learned. You know, our relationship with the IICRC is exactly 2 years old. It was January of 23 when they named us their endorsed, national benefits vendor. And I'd say that's what we've learned the most. We see a lot of small businesses that are just kind of getting to that spot where maybe it's time to offer benefits. And it's not always, that doesn't always have to happen immediately. You don't always have to jump all the way in with 2 feet. And so, like Leon said, crawl, walk, run, we're really going to lay that out and what each step can mean for you as a small business, just to make sure that you're growing incrementally. Maybe you're not just stretching too far or overextending yourself. You can have a very simple benefit package. And that is a lot better than nothing. You can control costs a little bit better. So we're going to unfold that strategy. And I think that's going to make sense to a lot of small business owners.
Yeah, and I was definitely going to say it's interesting to see because no business is too small, essentially, right? You're talking you can have 3 people, you can have 50 people, and that's where you guys come in. And I think sometimes it's not as easy to find a solution like that without utilizing someone like yourself, the Helios group. So with that being said, you guys were attendees slash exhibitors before at the experience, and now you're speaking. So if you could give somebody advice or reasoning to attend the experience, what would it be?
A lot of knowledge. I'm telling you, it was so refreshing to look at, learn from all the experts in the field. And like if you're new, if you're old, want to sharpen your sword, want to just get some information, this is the place to be. You're going to get a PhD in cleaning and restoration there. So like, that's why I'm excited. I love to learn, and it's all there laid out for you. And in every aspect of it. So go to the experience conference, get some knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a good time in the ones that we've attended. Like you always catch these little like kind of breakout conversations happening as well. Isn't that the reason for like going in person to these? Like, sure, you could look at a vendor list, you could see who's there and being there, if you're not there, you're gonna miss it. And you almost wish you could be a fly on the wall, like 15 different conversations happening at once. But like that's what we've really enjoyed. And we were able to do a live podcast at the last one too, just because we were there. Somebody grabbed us by the wrist and just said, "Hey, come over here. I want to feature you guys. Can you talk for 10 minutes?" Sure. It was really cool. So like, I don't know, for us, it's been very beneficial just from a learning perspective, networking, but also learning.
I would say networking as well. We've found some really valuable partners that we would have never found if we were not attending the experience conference. So we found things we weren't even looking for that made our business better. So that was a big aspect in it as well, like just the connection and the camaraderie of the experience conference. So
Yeah, I can really echo that. I would definitely say, all of our industry events are designed for collaboration, but I really think, with the experience, like you said, you have the opportunity to go to these breakout sessions. There's hands-on portions on the show floor, and not only that, Joe, to your point, there's always just people, out talking, and it's so inviting, right? It's a collaborative networking opportunity. And sometimes you learn easier ways to do things. You get insights on business, marketing, even sources, right? I think that's the other beautiful thing. And I'm so thankful that you guys are contributing in our sessions this year because I think there's so much that you guys have to offer. Even if somebody isn't really ready to pick up services or benefits for their team, it gives them the opportunity to learn and absorb and maybe come back later to ask some questions. So with that being said, we've talked about the Helios group, we've talked about you guys, we've talked about the experience, but a lot of people may know you and some may not. What is one fun fact about each of you that you don't really share often, but you think is pretty cool about yourself?
Well, two things. First and foremost, I have three dogs, and we gave them all human names. We have Charles, we have Douglas, and we have Violet. We have a great Pyrenees and some Saint Bernards. So I got big dogs, love them. And then I am a hobby rock scientist. So I scour the beaches, picking up rocks, and I cut them, and I make jewelry, and like it's just a fun hobby of mine. So if you like rocks, come visit me. I'll show you a few of them in pocket.
And sometimes it gives them away. I have a beautiful, a beautiful quartz rock right there. Gosh, only one fun fact I think would be a little goofy. I'm a very, very avid gardener. I love gardening. I love flowers, annuals, perennials, anything. That doesn't sound very masculine when you say it, but I really love it. It's extremely therapeutic for me. Leon and I reside in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I can't do any gardening. It's January. So I'm really looking forward to spring. It's my favorite season.
I will add something I like about Joe as well is that he has a wonderful bourbon collection in his basement, and I've been over there a few times to sip and try some things, and I will say it was very impressive. So if you're a bourbon person, come speak to my boy here because he's got the goods.
That's
I
true.
was
That's
definitely
true.
gonna say you're in a good industry to talk about bourbon and whiskey and all that. I definitely think this is the right industry for that. And I know Robbie over at the IICRC, he's a bourbon guy too. So there's always opportunity to have a great conversation over a nice glass, whether you like it on the rocks or neat. It's cool to learn about everybody and humanize them a little bit. I think a lot of times we're so stuck in the turn and burn of business. And this is what this is all about, to humanize us and talk about, something that we can connect on outside of work, which is really cool. So, do you guys have any closing thoughts or words for our listeners before we let them go?
I'll say anybody getting into an industry to look at the cleaning and restoration space, it can't be replaced by AI. It's only going to get bigger. And so I think from what I'm saying, it's a really wonderful time to get into this business. So that's my closing arguments. It's a wonderful space to be in.
Yeah, great point, Leon. I guess I would just say, please view us as a resource. We're a part of this industry. We're here. You don't pay us anything. You're never going to write a check to the Helios Group. We're paid. Our compensation comes from insurance companies, but what we can do for you on a national basis, and it's actually down to two. Kayla, I think you said three. It doesn't. You have two employees. We can be a resource for you. We could be of service to you. So we're at your service. We're ready for you.
That's awesome. Yeah, two, that's even music to multiple people's ears, I would definitely say, especially when you're starting out. Usually it's husband and wife or uh parent and child. So I think that's really refreshing, and having the opportunity to help our industry in a different light is also really amazing. So I can't thank you both enough for coming on today. And of course, you can catch us at the Experience April 8th through 10th in Charlotte Harbor at Charlotte Harbor Convention Center in Punta Gorda, Florida. You can register right now through our website at rnrmagonline.com and find the experience on the nav bar. If you like more of our content, always feel free to check out our videos and podcasts on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify, and of course, our social media. A very special thank you to both Leon and Joe for spending their afternoon with me today. This is Trade Talks, Unlocking the Experience. Thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to see you there. Take care.